What up, Postal fam? They got me, dog. They got me. Boys got me. Got me coming in for my drug test. Got me coming in for the drug test. So for those that say I can't get popped, there it is. We hope to pass with flying colors. Nothing but positive results. Let go.
All I hear is talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. If she be down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How you doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp today? Are you feeling airy? Let's talk. I got an article. I want to read a couple of excerpts from it about people quitting. And I also want to talk about some of these comments that you guys left. Very, very interesting. And this is what you guys left. Some people don't read the comments, and I felt there was need for you guys to hear some of these comments. They're very, very inspirational, and they're very truthful as well. We're all going through some things right now, and we're all faced with uncertainty to some degree. So let's talk about that. And just so you guys know, I do have things in the comment section, in the video description, that typically is there for postal employees. That helps us through our everyday lives, from union stuff, union program, affordable housing, investing, discounts for lodging, to help you with your credit. Again, these are things that I use myself and other people have shared with me. So my thing again is to share some information. It could possibly help you. I don't like to offer it too much, but they do have some loans in here, and I use one specifically. I have the code for all that stuff. If you need it, because, summertime, people tend to go broke, just check it out. All of it's in the video description. Help you fix your credit, government employee loans, financial advice, no credit check loans. There's websites. I have some of the postal workers, your stuff, that I have your information in here as well. When people want to get cups and, stuff. Hey, Mother's Day is coming up. Hit that lady up. She makes some t-shirts. She makes some good stuff. Father's Day is coming up, ladies. I know a lot of women don't watch my channel, but if you guys do and you guys can get some for Father's Day, she hooks that stuff up too. Now we got past the nitty gritty. All right. Let's talk. More employees are quitting and workers are protesting understaffing. I shared my opinion about that, so I don't need to share my opinion about this. Postal management has stressed better working conditions for employees, but one protester says people are better to do their dogs? I don't know that. I don't understand. I assume he meant jobs. The Postal Service is losing a whopping 59% of its early tenure employees per year. Now, I couldn't figure out exactly what they meant by early tenure employees per year. Tenure, career employees, long term. I'm sorry, I'm breaking this down, but 59% of its early tenure employees per year, they are losing, according to a new report, which employees say is creating a staffing crisis and souring morale at many locations around the country. Postal employees across the country staged protests out their facilities in recent days, saying poor treatment of staff and a lack of priority on hiring has led to toxic work environments, particularly within post offices and other forward-facing positions, they said. Staffing shortfalls have caused longer wait times and otherwise reduced services for customers. Again, I won't give my opinion about it. Postmaster General Louis DeJoy has made it a priority to decrease USPS reliance on non-career employees. Stick to the end of the video because somebody made a point and a comment today, and to improve working condition for those who remain. Did you hear that? Decrease USPS reliance on non-career employees and improve working condition for those who remain. That's within the first sentence. I made a video, you guys might have seen it last night, where I read an opinion from the police officer, and this almost ties into it. It's crazy because this article just came out. If you don't know what I mean, DeJoy has found some success in his efforts converting more than 125,000 such workers into career roles since October 2020. Most new field employees hired to USPS began in non-career status, meaning they earn less generous benefits and often work irregular schedules. Does that fit anybody? Currently, about 18% of USPS workforce is non-career. Now that's good. 18% is non-career. That means that damn near, 82% is career now? In 2010, the Postal Service began increasingly relying on non-career workers such as postal support employees, PSCs, mail handler assistants, and CCAs as a cheaper alternative to reduce labor costs as part of efforts to keep pace with shrinking mail revenue. The agency's non-career staff grew by more than 60% between 2010 and 2017, meaning in those years, there were 60% of the employees, more than half, were non-career. Now we're down to 18%. 60%, that's a majority of the employees that work for the post office were non-career at that time. The growth came with some additional costs, however, as the reduced compensation and lack of regular schedule caused many employees to leave more quickly. They quit. That in turn led to more hiring, which costs money if you guys didn't know. Onboarding and training expenses. Training. This guy's funny. In his 10-year business plan to get USPS out of the red, DeJoy called attrition levels for non-career workforce unacceptably high and vowed to address it. In fiscal 2020, before DeJoy's plan went into effect, USPS missed its goal of 32.5% turnover and instead saw a 40% rate. Break that down for you again. 100 employees, they expected 32 to quit, but instead it was 40. 40 out of 100 quit. They were trying to get it down to 32 out of 100. By fiscal 2022, that number has spiked nearly 6 in 10 employees leaving. There you go, 6 in 10. So out of 100 employees, 60 quit. Shit, that's a lot, according to a recent Inspector General report. Postal Management set goal in fiscal 22 of retaining 50.5% of non-career workers after 1 year of service. Their goal was, after a year of full service, they wanted to keep more than half of non-career employees, but instead was only able to keep 47%. In a survey and a small sample of non-career workers, and IG found 21% of employees said they worked more than 12-hour days after their first month on the job, which time such extended shifts are prohibited. Yeah, that are prohibited. 17% they worked for 12 consecutive days. Working long hours and lack of schedule flexibility may lead to employee fatigue. Yeah, right. I'm just kidding about that. Which could affect employee morale, reduce productivity, and increased turnover. You guys can read the rest of this on govexec.com because I want to get to the comments in a second. But what I'm gathering here, this is just my opinion about this. So if his plan is to, which I said maybe a year ago, was to make better working conditions in order to retain the people that we have, I can understand it. Because let's face it, you can't walk into a postal facility and not feel like it's gloomy. I mentioned that they were changing the lighting, they were painting the walls lighter colors, they were trying to produce an environment that was more welcoming for postal employees. That's what they were attempting to do. And that is good, because I walk into, everybody like, hey man, what are you doing? I'm headed to the dungeon. And that's what I usually say. I know it's a joke, but that's how I feel. Headed to the dungeon. Those are the words. Now, if you go to a place that visually is more welcoming, that tends to bring up the morale of the employees. It's a psychological thing. But we don't want to get into the psychology behind this. We want to get in, we want to get into the facts. We want to get into some facts. Someone said today, as my first comment, and maybe you guys can chime in on it. At West Sacramento today, started telling some PACs they have a week off and 2 weeks. And some have 2 weeks and some have 3 weeks. That hanging around PSC necks is getting tighter and tighter. Is that happening? They're giving PSCs a week off of work? That was one comment. That's the shit. That's not good. That's a way to get somebody to quit right there. Another comment. JH, I just heard they're trying to eliminate an entire craft. I don't know about that, but again, I don't know it all. I don't know if it's for sure true, but they are forcing regular mail processing clerks to work very far distances from their home or force them to become MHAs. So if the clerk says, hey, I don't want to go 60 miles away, because I think they have up to 60 miles, could be wrong. They're telling them to become MHAs. That sounds a little crazy, but this is a post office right now. They have also let all of the PSCs, let go of all the PSCs, somebody else. This is crazy. I don't know if this is happening anywhere else, hence me putting it out there. If you guys hear about it, please comment. If this is true, people need to start looking for new jobs ASAP, because I believe something big is coming. I just don't feel right and no one is speaking up. I hope you see this. They wrote that to me. I said this the other day. Something don't feel right. I can't pinpoint it, etc. Couldn't put the pieces of the puzzle. You guys, if you watch my videos, you'll see. So if this is happening anywhere else, please comment so that everybody can see. Okay, that's how we get our information. When somebody says something, I share it. If it's true, you guys chime in, or you say, nah, that's not happening. And then I just take and see what happens. All right. I made a video yesterday with Jonathan Smith and the APWU, and this is a comment that was left. Thanks for the video and input. I believe he went political on that as well. It's not about race or gender or anything else. It's about business. And since Smith went to the political side, the union supports the party that killed thousands of union jobs as soon as they were in office. The union does a disservice to the members who choose to work by not holding everyone to the same contractual standards. The contract does not say stay at home, don't do your job and get paid. And yet the union works hard at supporting the violators and screwing over the ones who work. The union is losing their own. Is there any questions about that? So I agree with that. So again, the individual that wrote me specifically yesterday was talking about how they may possibly in the future hold the union accountable for all the things that they stand for and all the things they protect. And this is just, this is it. He said it perfectly good. The contract does not say stay at home, don't do your job and get paid. But yet the union works hard at supporting the violators. And those are the ones that they keep, and then they turn and become management. We spoke about that earlier this week. If you hear these things, man, it starts to make sense. And the people that gripe about what is clear, you're probably one of the problems. So I like that you guys are leaving your comments, because this is this is it, man. It says the union does disservice to members who choose to work by not holding everyone to the contract. The union is losing their own by Not holding everyone to the same standards. Smith said he does not want to hear excuses for not going to DC. Try holding the same standard for showing up to work. So if you don't want to hear no excuses by not getting on the bus to go up to DC, try holding the same standards for showing up to work. Just my opinion as a paying union member. That's where the gripes come in. Paying union members, they get upset because I am paying my union rep to represent the guy that doesn't show up to work. And somebody made a comment saying that, how does it affect you if I don't show up to work? That's not your business. Well, yes, let me clear this up. If you don't show up to work, you are part of the problem because you are creating the animosity in your department because somebody else has to do your job. Somebody has to do your job. If there's a job that has to get done and you are a part of it and you don't show up to work, somebody else has to pick up your slack. Are there reasons that we call out? Absolutely. But don't say, what's it your business if I call out? Because it's clear. If you're calling out because you want to go to the beach or you got to, hey, some people say, no, because I have my family and I had this, I had that emergency. Everybody got theirs. But if you're that one that says, ain't your business if I call out. Well, yeah, man, because now I got to pick up your route. Now I got to do your work. Now I'm working alone on the station. Yeah, so it does affect everybody. And then it starts to eat at the people that are sitting there going into work. And then they turn around and then, when they need the union for something and the union's not there for them. Hey man, when am I going to convert to regular? Hey man, can you tell me when the next conversion dates are? Hey man, they're working me a lot more than I really want to be. And the union says, hey, well, that's part of the contract. You just have to do, but my schedule is just going up and down and up and down. Oh, well, that's just part of the contract. Okay, that's part of the contract. That's what your answer is to me. But when Jeff calls out, you in that office with the postmaster talking about, no, you cannot write him up. You cannot do this. You could not do that. And that's what he means. The union be fighting for the ones that don't show up to work, but the ones that be there on the grind, where they at? What? And here's the last part. I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it. I tell people to email me if they want this information, but here's the last part. If you're in the union and you want to get out of the union, it is not an easy task. But this is how you do it. You call human resources. You sit on that damn phone for about an hour and a half and you call human resources and you find out the day that you actually joined the union. Why can't you just call the union to ask them that? Because they're not going to tell you. They don't want you to leave. You call human resources and say, hey, I'd like to stop giving my union dues. I want to opt out of being in a union. They will tell you the date. If today is April 1st and they tell you your date is December 1st, when your annual date of when you first joined, say, okay, now you need to put that date in your calendar and say, okay, I'd like the form so that I can opt out of dues. Okay, cool. They mail you a form. You make 3 or 4 copies of that form. Man, some people pissed right now, but whatever. You make 3 or 4 copies of that form. And you have to send it certified to them. Not registered, but certified. If you want to spend the registered, go. They give you the information of where to mail it. And it's pretty simple. You put your name in there, your EIN, and you say you want to opt out. You check the form, you want to opt out. Here's the kicker. You have to have it to human resources for them to file it within, I believe, 2 weeks before the date and maybe a week after the date of your actual annual date. If it's the 1st, you have to have it there on the 15th or later, the month before, up until about a week after. So you got like a 3-week window for them to get this. It is wild. So like I said, you know, and then you just, me, why I say 3 copies? Because I mail one every 5 days. That's it. You mail one on this day, just in case it gets lost, and you mail one 5 days later, and you mail one 5 days later. That way they're getting the same, your request, staggering, and then you are out. And when you feel like you join, or you want to join again, you could join at any time. Because I wouldn't say just stay out of the union, but once you feel like, you know, you have some representative, a steward that's actually fighting for the right cause, because your money has to be going to them, then, hey, you know what, man? Give me that form. Let me join you guys. I agree with your cause. Jump back in. But that is how. And I know people are pissed right now, but I'm sorry. I can't keep doing it behind the scenes. That's what it is. If you guys want to, go for it. If you need to find out the rest of this information in this article is on govexec.com. And also remember, in the video description, I have all the stuff that could possibly help you guys when you're going through your hard times. All right. Somebody gonna be like, man, you drew this video out. No, this is your channel right about now. You guys give the information. I turn around, reshare it, throw my opinion in. My opinion don't mean nothing. I'm just a truck driver. You zimmy. This is JH. Y'all have a great rest of your day. We out.